every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Let Out. We got a great show for you, as always. I want to welcome my co-host, Sylvia.
Hi.
My other co-host, Alicia. And my co-host, Chris.
Hey, was you the person next to you, or was that a piece? All I saw was one finger.
Girl, that's all I got right now.
Yeah, that joke was lazy. But it's all good. We'll take what we can get. It's going to be a very, very good show. One of the topics that we got today are, we want to talk about, is it okay for your kids to call your step-parent or their step-parents dad, mom, or whatever the title may be. So we're going to discuss that in detail. We also want to talk about cheating. That's going to be a really good topic. We're going to just talk about like why men cheat, why women cheat, what's the goods and the bads of it, what comes from it, all of that good stuff. So we'll get into that a little bit later. And then the infamous surprise topic. So we got a lot to go. Let's go ahead and get started. So tell me, is it okay for children to call their parents or their step-parents by like father or mother or either of those? And I'll start with Alicia.
And the reason that the topic kind of came about is because it was Little Future's birthday. I think it was today or yesterday. And Russell actually posted a really beautiful post to him. And at the end of it, he said, "Daddy loves you." And you know that they got people in arms.
Right.
I think it depends on, number one, the other parent that's also part of the child's life. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there needs to be a conversation that's had to see if that other parent is okay with it. If you're an active parent, and it really needs to be a discussion. It's different when the other parent is not in the picture at all. That's all that child knows. That's one thing. But for me, do I want my sons calling somebody else mama? No, I don't. They have a very present mama who is in the picture. Now they can call her Miss whoever they want to. Miss Tina, Miss Tony, whatever.
Okay.
But
is that fair to her?
It's reserved for me.
Is that fair to her if she's a great, step parent and she does everything and they just call her by her first name? Is that respectful?
Is that not fair that I don't really care how she feels?
About that as well. Because
I said Miss. I said they can call her Miss in whatever her first name is. Or if she would prefer to have her last name used, they can call her Miss Johnson, Miss Smith, whatever it is.
Okay.
But mama is reserved for their active mama.
I think it's selfish. Because what if
that's fine.
What if she categorized your child like you want your child to categorize her? Then you have a problem with it. I feel like
I know what Sylvia, I know where you're going with it. What if that person treating your child like they own?
And that's how I would like for her to do it too. I would hope that she would, but I, at the same time, respect that title is reserved to the woman that gave birth to them and is actively taking care of them. I appreciate her.
I think the title that is reserved for you is biological mother.
And I think that's bullshit, but I respect her opinion.
But you know what, y'all? But I'm gonna say this. I think it really depends, though. Y'all really have to, like you said, you gotta look at the situation. First and foremost, how long has this new significant other been around? First and foremost, you've been around for 2-3 years, and I'm like in my teens, or have you been around since I was like 2, and now I'm 19 or 20?
Right.
Is my other parent active or not? Do I see them on a regular basis?
Right.
You know what? I look at it like this, because the reality of it is you got kids that look at the person that's within their household for more than they look to their biological parent for. But ultimately, if you want my decision, I think you kind of need to twist that name up a little bit. Like, don't call them dad, you call them pops. Or something like that. Like, look, this my dad. What's up, pops? You know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like, you don't call him mom. Look, you say, hey, what up, me? Walk in the house. You can give that parental figure another title that's not
Exactly.
mom, but
agree
it's
with that.
still gonna be a term of endearment. I think that's
Yes.
probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I'm cool with that. I like that, Chris.
yeah.
That's actually fair, but fuck that. I want to say that for me, you know, we got to start. It kind of goes to Sylvia's point. We got to start really looking at what we expect out of people. Like, you can't expect somebody to treat your kid like their own and then take a title that don't match it. Like, if I do something, I deserve what I deserve. Now, I'm not gonna tell the kid to do it, but that should be that kid's choice. If that kid decides to say, "This is my biological mom, and this is, you know, my mom number 2," or like Chris said, mom number 2, or this is my other mom. Like, but I can still call them mom. I think in Russell's case, as much time, effort, energy, money, and everything that he seemingly puts in with that child, he has the right to be called dad. It does. I get it where it will come from, where I'm present and I'm there, and that title is kind of, it's kind of, I guess, withheld or reserved for a certain person. But once the other person comes in the picture, then you got to share it. Just like that person got to share the responsibilities of helping raise your child. Unfortunately, because you weren't there with the person that you had the child with. So that's something that when you broke up, you left that open for that to happen, unfortunately. So you take what come with it. If I'm treating your kid like my own, then that is my own.
Yeah,
That's a nice
that.
answer in theory.
Yeah, true that. And the biggest thing that I'm going to think about that, because we are talking about a specific set of people. We're talking about Sierra, Russell, future son. And you got to think of, they got another little girl together. So and Russell's been around Lil Future for since he was like 1, 2?
Yeah,
it's weird. Why would a 1 or 2-year-old call you by your name when my sister call you daddy? He probably ain't even conceptualizing what that difference is.
That's
all I know is here, you treat me like you treat her.
Right.
You daddy to me.
Right. Exactly. I mean, why tell the truth?
Russell. But they established that, I think, after Riff, and he calls him Papa Russell. That was what they went ahead and they agreed
he called him daddy because he put it in the writing.
Russell said daddy loves you. Now I don't know what he calls him when it's not being recorded.
Exactly. That's my point. The truth came out.
I actually lived that on both sides. My girls have always called Stephen dad.
Why?
It was nothing.
Why?
For one, they're biological.
He put that work in. Stephen put that work in.
Point. Like their biological dad was not active in their life, and he did. But he did come in from day one of meeting him, putting their work in, just because that's just the person that he is. It was never forced. We never required it. It's just something that they started doing on their own. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, his son does not call me mom, and I'm perfectly okay with it. Like, I don't take offense to it because his mother he has a really good mother. Like, she good job raising him, and I never wanted him to feel like just because my girls call his dad, that he was obligated to call me mom. No, if he wanted to call, I was okay with him calling me Sylvia. If that's what he's, but the funny thing, I was sitting here thinking as you all were talking, I'm like, I don't think he's ever called. And like, if you want to talk to me, he'll just come in and just start talking to me. But I don't think he's ever said he's ever called me by my name. And if it has, it's been very few times. And when he introduced me as his stepmom, and I'm okay with it because, like I said, his mom was his mom. Like, you know what I mean?
Choice.
Yeah, he was 8 when we started dating, and I've never believed in making him uncomfortable at all.
Right.
So him calling me whatever, made him comfortable, that was respectful. I didn't have a problem with it.
I think that's actually pretty cool, and it's kind of, and I'm going to take this just a little somewhere else because it made me think of my own situation. And you said Sylvia, how he'll just come in the room and not say anything, he just start talking. And I realize sometimes I do that to Paula's parents. And I do that sometimes. And it makes, so what do y'all call y'all significant others parents or your mother and father-in-law, what do you call them when you're addressing them?
Selfish.
Bring your selfish ass over here.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing with your selfish ass? Hey, everything okay? All right.
You going to hell.
But
that was a legit question though. What do y'all call them?
Well, mine were living, and they were older, so they were old school. I addressed them as Mr. and Mrs. Beard, Mr. Beard, Mrs. Beard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always addressed them. And Stephen went to address my mama as Miss Letcher, and she was like, "No, call me Joyce." So he called her Joyce.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's really how it is. Just make me think of how I address Paula mama. I'd be like, "Hey, I call her Wella." Right. You know, the Spanish word for grandma is abuela. My son has just always said Wella.
So you call it the same thing?
Yeah.
You know,
just like that. Just like how when you're in the house with your kids, you be like, hey, take this to mom real quick. Right. Take this to mom. Take this to dad. And before you know it, that's just talk. It becomes less of a title and kind of your in the home name.
Right. It does. I mean, to be honest, I call my I just call them by the respectful names like Mrs. whatever last name or Mr. Pearson, Miss Pearson. You know, nothing. I got a certain level of respect. Period. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you know, like not her dad, cause he either called me by my name or he'll say, hey, how my son-in-law doing? You know, that's a sign of approval.
Oh, look.
That's a sign of approval. Like, man, I appreciate you taking it off my hand. But it ain't no, hey, you know, and sometimes I may just kid around and be like, hey, tell my, you know, father number 2 to holler at me or whatever, boom, boom. But for the most part, it's just that level, especially with like
my mom. Understanding already there.
My mom is automatic, you know, Miss Pearson. I don't, yeah.
you ain't playing like that.
No, it's just,
that face expression is hilarious,
baby.
Like you might get cussed out.
Yeah,
that's what they look like to me. You don't want them. He don't want them problems. He don't want no smoke.
Nope. Just saying. But well, I mean, we get you, Alicia. It's a thin line, and I think
it's not thin. It's clear.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he's stupid. What I'm saying is like basically, you know, I know when you look at it, it's like I understand where you're coming from. That's what I'm saying. I really do understand, because it's like if I'm doing everything that I need to do as a mom or more, then no, don't share my title. Yeah, don't share my title if I'm a damn good mom. If I was an okay mom, I would have some things to think about. But if I'm a damn good parent, then it's a different story.
No, I don't want you.
I got one more for y'all. What about that kid they call their grandmama mama?
That's disrespectful. And I'm not to anybody else. But I'll let Alicia speak first. But I don't. Yeah, I will go there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I mean, I'm going to speak from my vantage point. Like when my oldest son, when he was a baby, when he was like a baby going into 1, he called my mom. And part of the reason that he did that was because I was a young mom, and she really was the one who stepped up, and she was really parenting him when I wasn't. Like,
that's what that says.
So did it feel a way to hear it? Yeah, but I understood why. That meant that I needed to step my game up and be more of a presence for him. So I was Lisa and she was mom, and I was like, oh, hell to the no. So we fixed that. But that came with youth, and then of course, and also with maturity. Right. So if it's a situation where it's a child calling grandma mama, it's a reason behind it. I knew what the reason was for mine.
Because the mama tried, in a sense. Not saying you. No, not you. Not you. Not you.
Something like that. Something like that.
But typically, that's kind of what it means or alludes to. It's just that the moms, and I don't mean trife in a ridiculously trife type of way, but I mean not trife in a either not ready for it, either not capable, or other reasons. But nonetheless, you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
and
Right.
legitimately your child don't see you as their mama.
Exactly.
No, you're not the parental figure. Not at all.
Exactly. I agree. Okay, so good stuff. Now let's get into the meat.
The meat and the yams.
Ooh, I feel a fallout coming
Man,
on.
we about to be on this one. Okay, cheating. Let's talk about it. Huh? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about cheating. Let's talk about let's go in general. I don't want to male, female this one. Let's talk about let's start with cheating.
I'm sorry. I'm being a little specific. I apologize.
No. What I want to do,
You gonna be specific.
I want to kind of start with just cheating and then roll into cheating specific. Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'll start with Sylvia. Like, why do you think, what are your thoughts on cheating, and why do you think that people cheat?
My thoughts on cheating now, at the age that I am now, mature that I am now, what's the point? If you're not being fulfilled where you are, leave. Like, it takes too much time, energy, effort. And where I like, I don't have time for that. I just want to be happy. I want to be at peace. And it just comes with too much territory to cheat. I don't have time for that. Just end it. What was the second part of your question?
Well, just in general, like, why do you think that, like, other, like, people cheat? Why do you think that they cheat?
Some cheat because they can. Some cheat because they want to. Some cheat because they just flat out hoe. Some cheat because they're not getting fulfilled in the relationship that they in. I mean,
why they gotta be a hoe if they cheat?
Man, Alicia ready. She's
why they gotta
to jump in this motherfucker. Hold on. Like, I don't even know if I want to go next.
And then one brain sticking out.
I want to see.
So
because some do. Like, they cheat. They are serial cheater. They cheating with one person, but they cheating with several people. Come on, call a spade a spade. They could be a hoe if they cheating. I ain't say all cheaters was whores or hoes, but
some of them are. You got some that fit them all. I got you. Okay.
Some of them cheat.
Chris?
All right, so I'm going to jump off, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, from the jump, I'm going to say people are greedy more so than anything. And it might not necessarily even have to be to the fact that I'm a hoe or I'm not being fulfilled, or this, that, or the other. The reality is everybody want what they want. Right? Wrong. I'm right. Y'all know it. Don't say shit. The thing is, but the thing with that is, even if you have the perfect mate that's doing almost everything right, when you got 85%, you still that don't take away from you wanting your 15. And the reality of that is, people are gonna say, why have 85% when I can have 100, even if I have to have 85 plus 15?
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's what I think. I think, like, it may not necessarily be that I'm not being fulfilled, but just because you not doing something for me or vice versa, or if I'm not doing something for you, that's not going to take away from the fact that, guess what, you still want it.
That's a fact. That's
still not going to take away from it.
That's a fact. I can see that. All right, Thunder Horse, what we got?
Thunder Horse.
Come on, Thunder Horse. Ready to try. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just gonna come out the gate slow, since we just tipping.
Right.
Some people cheat because they're selfish.
Okay.
And some people cheat because they just not shit.
Damn.
Come on, man.
She just kicked the door on in.
I thought you was trying it. I thought you were taking a step. Kick the door in.
Hold on. I mean, but I think at the root of all of it, no matter what the reasons are, no matter what the excuses are, the root of it is just you fucking selfish, and you thinking about you at all times. But your face said you had something.
I mean, but ain't nothing wrong with thinking about yourself.
I'm sorry, I'm ready.
Ain't nothing wrong with thinking about yourself. Because if you don't take care of you, who will?
Okay, well, be by yourself then.
That's not realistic.
I want 85. I want 100%.
No,
I want 100%.
It's not realistic.
Even if that's
just like you want one person to yourself, I want more than one person to myself. What's the difference?
That's a bunch of people. You ain't gotta be in somebody and then go be with somebody else to get your 100%.
No, they ain't got nothing to do with dating.
Other people, just be.
I don't want to date.
Be with other people is what she's saying. You don't
I am.
own me. Give me.
No,
the
I am
choice.
being with other people.
Because then, well, you can look at it like this. If I tell you, then you gonna leave. Then I'm just gonna have 15%.
You're right.
That ain't right.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I want
what
80,
person?
I want 100.
What person?
Not 15.
What person realistically going? Like, it's just like.
What I'm saying is, if you want, there's nothing wrong with you want that 100%.
Right.
I get that. But if you ain't getting my 85 cents from one person, you want the 100%. Hey, get you somebody that you're not committed to for the 85 cents and go on somebody, get somebody else to 15%. Leave the option open. Hey, you ain't give me my 85 cents, but I get this other 50%. What you saying?
Let me tell you something.
Because
nobody leaves. No.
Cheat on you.
Nobody leaves their job until they got another job.
Oh my God.
That's fine.
You ain't gonna leave a good paying one for a part timer.
You're not trying to go ahead and to work both of the jobs at the same time. So that's
got
fine.
2 jobs. All people got 2 jobs.
Hey, but people do have jobs and side hustles.
You don't want to take the risk of losing. Selfish, just like Alicia said. You don't
so who don't want that cake and eat it too?
You don't want to.
That's human nature. Just because you pick to do that with something else, and I choose to pick it with cheating. What is that? What makes us different? You want your cake in a lot of different areas and eat it too. Period. That's humans.
But it's not something that would jeopardize the relationship.
You're not going in thinking that way.
Yeah. What if you're going into it thinking like you will never find out?
Oh, who do you know that wants to be cheated on?
That wants to be cheated on?
Yeah.
Who you know want to be caught?
Who do you exactly?
Who do you know that wants to be cheated on? Whether you caught or not, who do you know that go into something want to be cheated on?
Nobody.
Okay then.
Right.
But then again, first off, and I guess we should have made this disclaimer up front: Black men don't cheat.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? The biggest question is
we fuck off.
Huh?
And fuck up, but go ahead.
No, but I forgot shit. I lost my whole. It'll come back to me.
It'll come back.
That disclaimer needed to be made.
So I'm saying though, like, yeah, okay, everybody considers cheating wrong. Everybody considers cheating bad. But why are you mad because I cheat or because a person cheat? It's because you're selfish and you want the person out of yourself. So everything was back to selfish.
Not true. That's not
true. It is true.
Watching, I actually don't want you at all. So I don't want you to myself. I don't want you at all.
No, actually you do. That's why you don't want me to cheat.
No, I don't. What I want is the option to choose for myself. I want to choose if I want to go ahead and sleep with somebody that is sleeping with somebody else, that's possibly having unprotected sex with somebody else and laying up on me. I want to go ahead and say, you know what? I want to be a damn fool, and I want to do that. Let me make that choice for myself.
But we need realistic
that part, Alicia.
We need realistic choice.
Ignorance kind of somewhat bliss.
You said what?
Bliss sometimes?
No, ignorance of being bliss can also have you with STDs, herpes, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, shit, I don't know, lockjaw, blue balls, whatever the hell. Everything.
Maybe not. Shit.
And have you with a stalk on your hand, you even know why somebody's stalking you and don't like you and trying to kill you because they trying to get what you already got.
Okay, so we've established that by society's perception, cheating is bad. But is
we're going beyond just saying that cheating is bad. It's not. I mean, you putting such a small band-aid on it with the statement like, "Oh, cheating is bad." No, it's fucked up what you're doing to.
Is it?
That's what it is.
Is it?
Fuck that.
If you're not
making it about you.
If you're not doing it,
you can't make it about you.
You can't because
what?
Me getting my extra 15% has nothing to do with you and everything about what I want.
Hold on, wait a minute. So, of us all here have been cheated on, and how did it make you feel?
Here's the thing. Nobody, I ain't gonna say this. I'm gonna say a lot of what?
I've been cheated on. Alicia, have you been cheated on?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been cheated on?
You said Will or Chris?
I don't think so. Shit, maybe.
I said Will.
Ignorance is bliss if I don't know then.
Oh, yeah.
until your dick itch and fall off in the toilet.
And so, but how did that make you feel? Did it make you think more of the person that did the cheating?
Yeah.
Or did it?
I should have got their ass first.
Hey.
I should have hit their ass first, motherfucker.
Oh my God!
It'll make you
Nigga,
think
you
about
got
the
me.
missed opportunities.
You got me.
Like, damn, I should have did.
Fuck
such and such
motherfucker,
too.
you got me. I respect you though. You hard, fool. You hard. That's what I said. You hard. You hard. I'm just saying. Hey man, this is life. This is real. This is reality. In reality, people, 99%. Y'all know where I'm about to go.
Not accurate.
I'm waiting.
Inaccurate.
Yeah, y'all know where I'm about to go. I'm gonna keep it 100. Oh, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna keep this 100.
You go
No,
ahead.
I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, I see you.
No.
Because I don't know what you're about to say.
The world don't need to know this, but I'm gonna say this. If
What,
you sit back-
99.99% of men cheat? Is that what you're saying?
99.
99.99?
What?
But then that
I got
takes you
100.
somewhere else too, though. Everybody's definitions of cheating could be slightly different.
That's true. But here's the thing too. If you think about it, the problem is that if you think about what drives cheating, that's the biggest factor. Yeah, you got some hoes out there that's just gonna cheat, but you got a bigger percentage of people that cheat for other reasons, and a lot of times it's because of home. It's because there's a comfort level built at home, and then you've lost what you once had, and you don't really care to get it back until something like that happens. Either that or you leave. But once something like that happens, then you on your alert, as opposed to being on alert at first and making sure you stay on top of your game. Again, we got hoes, we got people that's gonna do it regardless of how good their woman or man is. I get that. I'm talking about, but for the most part, at least 50% of cheating is because some shit ain't being got at home. At least 50%. So
I don't know what statistics is, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just, hey man, I think it's inevitable. That's just me. At some point in life.
I think it also has to do with the age and the mindset of the man.
No, I don't.
Some of it plays, it does. Some of it plays into how he was raised, what he saw
He can be
growing
75.
up. You said what?
He can be 75. You remember the preacher?
I'm saying, but I also said his mindset as well. You can be an adult little boy. Age don't determine the man or how mature you are. I'm not saying that.
Y'all
but does age play somewhat of a part in it? Yes. But I think a lot of it too, it goes back to the Boosie conversation we had last week too, about men also going ahead and thinking that sex is what defines them as a man. A lot of that too is also at the root of that selfishness and thinking that the number of women that you hit or you fucking also proves how much of a man you are.
That's
while y'all around here thinking that little bitty dick, turtleneck dick around, embarrassing me. You already embarrassed me by cheating. And now you embarrassed me because you showing other people that little ass shit out in public. So now she's having me for two reasons.
So what you just told me, like, so if we saying stuff like that,
I said what I said.
No, I got you. I'm just saying, like,
so maybe that's why women sometimes cheat too, because they're also not sexually satisfied.
Well, look.
No, I don't think that. Go ahead.
Look, goddammit, I love you. I want to be with you, and you probably gonna have my child, girl.
That's a fact.
Sometimes I fuck other women from time to time. I don't know why I just do.
I just
That's
do.
the truth.
That's just a fact. That was one of the most realest lines. It's like, look, man, it's nothing against you. I love you to death. Nothing against you. Nothing against you. I have this thing that was given to me. I didn't ask for it. It was just given to me.
What is the thing?
This lust for women that I can't.
When you know that you have a lust like that for women, what you don't do is put yourself in a situation where you have to be accountable to somebody else. You can be single and
you can't do that though, because
the whole world.
You can't do that. You can't control love. I'm just saying. You can't control love.
That whole conversation, like, for real, like
you can't control love, and that's just real. Even though I'm smiling.
Everything that you and Chris say ties back into Alicia was just like, basically, you motherfuckers is selfish.
Or you
But
can
you
love
are
two people.
too.
You can love two people too.
But I'm not, here's the
It's a
thing.
fact.
I'm not saying that women aren't, because you have some women that cheat just like men.
Do it better, but do it way better than y'all would ever.
No, they don't. They don't.
Shit.
I don't know why y'all
Shit.
don't let these comedians fuck y'all over. Y'all don't. We
Y'all
know
be
y'all
caught
ass
all
cheating
the
too.
time.
Well,
Please.
y'all do
The woman
too.
take that shit
Y'all
to her
do
death
too.
bed.
But you know what?
Y'all
Or
do
is it
too.
that women be looking?
Y'all do too. Y'all get caught. The problem is, let me throw this on you. I'm gonna throw this tidbit. People gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna throw this at you. You get caught too. We just don't give a fuck because we got 9 bitches.
That's not true.
Fuck you
Y'all
talking
be
about?
sick.
Fuck you
Y'all
talking
get cheated
about?
on one
What you
time and will
talking
fuck
about?
over
Yeah, we get
every other
mad.
girl after that.
We get
No,
mad.
it's not
We're gonna
true.
get mad because that's natural.
No,
I don't want to be
y'all
cheated
be
on. It's a chink in the
heartbroken.
armor.
It's a lie.
It's a
It's
chink
lie.
in the
You can't
armor.
believe that bitch will go ahead and actually cheat on you. Have the audacity.
Man, we don't be. Look, man, you got to know if you ain't there that
Man.
at some point and you doing your thing that
Like-
at some point some nigga gonna catch you slipping. It's just like when you rob niggas. At some point, nigga gonna catch you slipping and rob your ass. That's just part of the game when you're a thug. And when you out here doing your thing as a dude that's cheating.
But if you treating your relationship or your marriage, whatever it is, as a game anyway, I mean, you up shit creek anyway. But and that's gonna be your comparison,
If
especially.
you out here
Right.
doing your own thing, you ain't hardly finna goddamn easily catch your girl that's cheating while your ass cheating, because you too busy trying to keep your shit straight. But when you find out she cheating, you give a fuck because you can dish it and you can't take it.
That's
Oh,
what I
nigga,
just said.
Hell yeah.
That's what I just said. I just said that
you
when I
don't
find out it hits because it's a chink in the armor.
Yeah.
It's like that nigga got me. Motherfucker. He came up, caught me slipping. I was out there. Motherfucker came and got me.
That's a lie. You see
all
so
these
many
dudes-
men that be on those shows, be done killed women because of why she was cheating. Y'all be in y'all put
No,
on a
that's
whole
just
different level.
that's ignorant.
No.
It's
No.
ignorance in every
the man
case in
do-
every gender.
The man that caught his girl cheating and he probably been cheating too. He ain't finna let her make it. Oh, he
No, we
ain't
can't take it. We can't take it. But you know,
drag her ass for life. She ain't gonna
She
never
a hoe. She a nasty bitch. She trifling.
be able to leave it down.
Because y'all receive. Me and give. Y'all receive.
facts. That's a fact. Ooh, we gonna
Oh,
talk
we
about
give
that.
too. We
Huh?
give too. So
Oh.
don't get it twisted. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
Or
you don't.
or you
No, you
just
don't.
receive
No,
it
you
in the
don't. Y'all don't feel
bank.
the same doing that. Y'all don't feel the same. Y'all don't feel the
Yeah.
same. Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that and not feel a certain way.
Look, that's what I was getting to. Here's the thing. Y'all can go and do it and have no kind of emotional attachments or nothing. But if we do it, we got some type of attachment to that other person, and that's what you can't stand. That's what bothers you the most. Because we are emotional beings.
And that's why y'all should care
But
less.
you know what though, Sylvia? That was true.
Body.
At one point, we were emotional beings like that.
Zoom,
But I
Zoom, that's the night, give a damn.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.